Dear Harstem, Protoss is the most brain-dead race. This guy opens Stargate and loses his Oracle to a mine? I'm ahead in economy the entire game and did not take any really bad engagements, but then is the same old story. If TVP goes to late game without a huge advantage, then it's an auto loss. That's just a fact. The only option Terran had to get some momentum was the Raven tank push, or, well, the threat of it. But now that that's nerfed, the Protoss has literally nothing to worry about. And now everyone is doing this fast forge build with cannons and mineral lines, just so they are extra helmet and have even less to think about. And they can concentrate on the demanding task of A-clicking charge lots. The only hope for Terran is to catch them off guard with a cheese, or all in, or be 3.2 times faster than them. Just look at Home Story Cup. Gabe loses 1-3 to Skillas, and I heard even Clem was struggling against some random Protoss player in the quarterfinals. So this was sent in by No Tricks, a North American high master player, 4500 MMR, who believes that Terran is impossible to play in the late game. This is an objective fact. Just look at the recent results. So, Hamster, play the Clem compilation. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. No Tricks, our Terran player, our angry Terran player. He was very upset. It is rare to see such vitriol in these imbalanced complaint forms. It's just, ooh, some real power. You know, these days I feel like they're too well written almost. You know, that they treat it like a poem, like a school assignment, some of these kids. You know, they're like, oh, imbalanced complaint form, let me rhyme, or let me make it into a song, or, you know, something else. Like, let me write a musical about this. It's like, no, I don't want that. This guy is angry. You can feel that he's angry. It had no proper capitalization of letters either. No punctuation marks. At least maybe there were a couple. In general, just I like that. Just this raw energy coming out of this Terran, just oozing out, just making stuff up. Like, oh, cannons, brain dead. Because of Ravens, these forge builds aren't possible anymore. They are possible now. No more Ravens. Forge builds are too strong. It's like, well, I'm not quite sure what Raven interference matrix now being a research has to do with forge builds becoming viable. But we never like to let, you know, facts get in the way of our narrative. And a powerful narrative has No Tricks sketched, my dear friend. Oh, what a powerful narrative. The narrative of the brain-dead Protoss player. My favorite narrative, perhaps. Look at this. Neat little Nexus before core here. Neat little build order coming out of the Terran as well. Oh, look at it. Reaper timing, 2 minutes. Pops out. Ooh, depot. Perfect timing as well. Gonna see a factory. Look at that. 150 minerals. Ooh, goes down. This is beautiful. This is high-level play. Or this is good enough. I'm happy with this. Look at his little bunker boy. He's going to build a bunker because he knows what to do. And so does his opponent. He's going to lose this probe. No, he's not going to lose the probe because he pulls it behind the natural. That is great. Reaper goes. Cuckoo, Mr. Reaper. This is very big coming from the guy that calls the other person brain dead. This was a Nexus before core. Nexus before core means that this adept pops out at around 2 minutes 31 or 2 minutes and 32 seconds. That also means that if your Reaper is on time and you rallied across the map properly, is that you can scout what your opponent's tech is, or you can at least move into the main base. Sometimes the tech hasn't started yet, but very often the tech is there and you get a scout. Sometimes you can even kill a probe if you move in towards the side. Now, Reaper Man over here saw this Nexus timing and didn't realize this was a Nexus before core. Now, usually I'd let this slide. But you call Protoss players brain dead, and the first theoretical error is definitely coming from the Terran here. Definitely. The reason why almost no Protoss players play Nexus before core with a probe scout is because you usually lose a worker to the Reaper. Because the Reaper just jumps in and you're in trouble. Or a bunker gets built behind your mineral line, and then you're also in trouble. This Terran player, however, not quite realizing that. Once again, I'm okay with that. If you're this level, that's okay. But they don't flame the Protoss player for being brain dead, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not okay with that. Okay? If you, he who is in a glass house should not be throwing stones. And he, without sin, should cast the first stone. And no tricks is definitely not without sin. So he is with sin. He's a sinner. He's a big, big sinner. Could have killed a pro. Bad boy. Bad boy. What you gonna do? Oracle's on the way out. Oracle into second gateway. Yes, I like this. Ooh, Oracle into Phoenix. Now we're talking build orders. I really do like that. This Adept is actually being microed. Nothing's being microed in the main. Oh my god, he pulled the probe away? Nico style. What the hell? Oh, gets in with the Adept? No offense, but No Tricks is getting absolutely outskilled over here. No? Look at this. Got in with the Adept because he didn't raise the depot. Didn't get a kill with the thing over here. Ends up losing the Adept. Now, this is unfortunate. But honestly, this is nothing to do with being brain dead. This just happens. It is freaking hard to spot on some maps, on some graphic settings. Sometimes you fly in. You don't pay attention for a unit to a unit for 2 seconds, it dies. Terran has no clue what that is like. It is rare to see such, because they're the ones with the Widow Mines. They're the, you know, I guess Disruptor, but Disruptor has a way longer timer than the Mine does. So I don't even think this is comparable. The Mine is, it's a surprise unit. He managed. This is like No Tricks hiding in his opponent's closet, you know, breaking into his house. Then when the other guy's asleep, comes out of the closet and punch him on the head. It's like, you didn't see that punch coming, did you idiot? And then No Tricks still gets beaten up because he's just weaker. Then he starts complaining about the other guy's muscles. It's too big. He has no brain. Why did he hit me on the chin? Doesn't he know that the throat is better to hit? Why did he go for a groin kick? Hasn't he learned Krav Maga? It's like, piss off, mate. Moron. Ooh, tech lab. I like this. Little bit of efficiency here coming out of No Tricks. That is just beautiful to watch. Can instantly fly these barracks over, start stim and combat shield. I think that's very good. Ooh, it's microing now. It's going to kill a bunch of these Phoenixes. Personally, I think Oracle into Phoenix builds with 2-gate are extremely safe and should never be attacked into as a Terran player. That should be the general rule. Like 100%. Because you're just going to have a lot of gateway units and you have a lot of air units. You have very good production. So this type of push is generally quite bad. What happened here? So I was giving him compliments, but I shouldn't have. And I'm sorry for that. So I take back the compliments I gave earlier to No Tricks. What I said was, I love these tech labs. That is cool and that is efficient. But No Tricks over here did something cool, but not something efficient. The reason why you build tech labs with your starport and your factory is so that the moment your barracks finish, they can immediately float over, start stim and combat shield. Stim and combat shield are the limiting factors for when your push can arrive from the Terran perspective. Okay, so these barracks finish 5 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. A tech lab takes 18 seconds to build. Okay, that means that at this point, if he had started the tech labs on the barracks themselves, they would be finished and he could start stim and combat shield, or he could start marauder production. When does it actually finish? When does it start? Oh, he starts marine production. Look at that. Now floats over. So he's going to be, 14 seconds too late. Okay? Now, once again, I don't really... No, actually, I do mind this. I just think this is stupid. This is inefficient in both attention and in time. If you know you're going to be busy microing these Marines, just say, hey, I'm going to put my barracks in a control group, and the moment they finish, I press X and X to start my 2 tech labs, and then at some point, I go back, build stim and combat. Then I don't have to float, which is attention intensive. It takes quite some time to execute that. And also, this ended up being slower anyway. This is basically what we saw now, is no Tricks going on basically a friendly hike with his mates, and then appointing an official pace setter and telling your friends that they have to walk in a straight line to reduce air resistance. It's like, mate, you're going for a walk with some... most of them are just wearing dress shoes as well. Like, they're not even proper walking shoes. Just walking around the city to like a Starbucks. Like, this is way too much. Like, it's too formal. You don't need to do that. Look, if you're not capable of microing your push and floating the barracks, just freaking build the tech labs on the barracks themselves. Like, I'm okay with that. And it would have been faster as well. Until you reach that level where this is actually useful, just don't do it. Practice it against the AI. And then if the game is serious, if MMR is on the line, just pick the thing that works best. Pick the thing that's most likely to get you MMR. That's what I find important. Points, wins, W's, all right? That's what we care about. Now, Forge, Double Forge has finished. I would once again like to point out, by the way, that he had some... I'm gonna have to read this. He said something about the Raven tank pushes. He said the only option Terran had to get some momentum was the Raven tank push, or the threat of it. Now, Raven tank pushes were god-awful against Phoenix Charge. So, in a way, nerfing Ravens, we did no tricks a favor in this particular game, because otherwise he might have built a Raven. The only thing that was nerfed on the Raven as well is the fact that it doesn't have interference matrix, that you need to research it. So, the Raven is the same against charge builds, but it's significantly worse against Colossus builds. This is a charge build, so nothing changed. It also would have been bad to get it in this case because Phoenixes are out, but also nothing has changed. So he's complaining about something that doesn't exist, or that he's just complaining to complain. This is like complaining about the fact that lettuce has gotten more expensive, but you never eat lettuce. It's like, why do you care? Hey, someone comes up to me and says, you see, they're increasing the freaking price of lentils. I'm like, oh no, that's awful. Let's protest. It's like, well, actually, never mind. I don't eat lentils. God, I don't have brain damage. Actually, I do eat lentils. That's a bad example. And I do have brain damage. So it was a double bad example. All right. +2 attack here coming in. I like this. I like that. We're also getting mine drops. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna hold this thought in my head while we take a look at this fight, because I feel like I'm just getting gaslit by no tricks over here. First of all, with his nickname, he says no tricks, but all he's been doing is freaking tricks. Tries to all in, now this mine drop. I thought he said that even these mine drops don't work because everyone's building a cannon. It's like, what? Like, yeah, of course. As a response, it's not like this Protoss player had the cannon ready waiting for this drop, which actually is a fine thing to do. Like, what is he flaming him for? Building detection against invisible units? Like, oh, these freaking Terrans with their turrets and Ravens against DTs? Why don't they just defend like a man with scans and units in positions? Like, well, that's very ineffective. It's like, I have no clue what he's complaining about. This guy's a... I don't know. I'm very confused. But an open mind. I have an extremely open mind right now, because the main complaint was about the late game. There is some, you know, there's some cannon fodder complaints in front of it. These we can, you know, we wipe them off the table. The Raven tank thing, the cannon thing, they're off. They're gone. Off the table with you, you prick. Oh, that was a good fight. That was nice. Would love to see a couple more mines, by the way, against the freaking Chargelot Archon army. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I'd love that. Maybe Ghost? Just a suggestion. Actually, it's not really just a suggestion. Ghost. Just get them. That's an order. Vikings. Okay. Some preemptive Viking production. Maybe he's really afraid of Phoenixes? I like this drop, by the way. It's a good drop. I'd love to have a mine in here. Mines add so much in this type of drop. Like, they really, really do. This still is a good drop, though. Can snipe maybe some of these Phoenixes. Not really target firing very well. Now could pick up, potentially. Target the Phoenix, target the Phoenix, target the Phoenix, target the Phoenix, target the Phoenix. Or pick up, target the Phoenix, and pick up. Pick up after getting a lot of damage and losing all your drops. That's also allowed. Bad micro, good rotation, though. I like this rotation as well. Now he should really piss off. Move these mines out of cannon range. No, not great. The thoughts were good. The rotations were okay, but the execution of the pushes wasn't good. And he's actually lost his momentum with this. Mine production is too low. He's produced a total of 12 mines in an 11-minute game. That is simply too little. How long does a mine even take to produce? I want to say it's like 22 seconds. 21. Oh, I was close. 21 seconds. So yeah, you want pretty much constant mine production. You want to have mines around the map. You want to have mines in your army. You want to have mines absolutely everywhere. Because mines are insane against zealots. And zealot run-bys are a big issue for Terran. That's the only way that TOS has to deal damage to Terran, pretty much, at this level. Because this is a pretty decent level. It's not like, you can just run in with 5 stalkers at this point and start killing 12 works or 2 adept shade and kill 30 works. Not like zealot run-bys and prisms is a good thing. There are no turrets yet, by the way, to deal with prisms. Not a huge fan of that. No sensor tower either. But it's on the way. Okay, I do like that. We have Ghost coming out. Okay, we have 4 Ghosts. That's good. Mine count is still too low. I'm just surprised how low the overall... I don't understand why that's the case. Why do we have no units? I think maybe too many upgrades. We have 2+2 ship weapons for 5 Vikings that are fighting Phoenixes. He started ship weapons level 1 before the first Ghost. I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. Except for people that rush battle cruisers. But then, like, in an actual game, I mean. It's like at higher level. This is higher level. I think Masters we can call higher level, right? That's definitely higher level, yeah. And also, the games, it looks fine, but also just some oddities. Ooh, starting concussive shells now. I had missed that. He's kind of betraying himself. This is a self-report, starting the concussive shells. I wasn't going to flame you for it, but now it means that all the other fights didn't have concussive shell. God, what are you? A noob? Heh. Nah, that was mean. I'm sorry. I take that back. That was uncalled for as well. I do apologize. I shouldn't have said that. No tricks. That wasn't cool. He's just going to go around for a little bit. Has 7 ghosts right now. His army is huge. I love it. Ooh. Moving back. Noise. Good control. Okay. Mines. He needs the mic. He needs the macro. Look at the cash he has. What did he EMP? Did he EMP his own medevacs? What the hell was this fight? Just this entire... Look how... Okay, so there's 2 things here. 1, do you want to fight while having 1k in the bank and being on 8 barracks? The answer is no. You probably want to max out first, okay? Although this fight should be winnable. Look how many EMPs does this guy have? He's like freaking, like 2 over here, 2 over here. There's like 6 EMPs. This entire army, the shield should just disappear. But how... Okay, that's 1. He hits 3 units. Now he move commands, hits the same 3 units again. Hits more units. Now I guess we'll see an EMP on his own on medevacs because they had no energy in the end anymore. Yeah, it's his own medevacs and 2 zealots. The target here are the Archons, right? You are aware of that. Now, maybe Notrix isn't aware, but the Archon, I'll just give him some info, has 350 shields and 10 HP. That means that if you EMP the Archon 4 times and a Marine farts in its direction, the Archon falls over and dies. And these Archons represent 1,500 gas. 1,500 gas. That is a lot of gas. Now, there's a lot of gas still in the bank for the Protoss. This was a terrible fight. It really shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have fought, but even when he did fight, it should have been a good fight. I just don't think you should fight if you have Ghost Viking against someone that's on pure gateway units and a couple of robo units, but no disruptors yet. The keyword here is no disruptors. I don't think you should fight until you're maxed. I don't think there's any reason to. This was the worst thing he could have done. Executionally and decision-making wise, probably. Well, he could have move commanded. I mean, within reasonable standards. He could have done a lot of bad things. Like, obviously. Like, could have stopped playing, could have left the game at this point. Could have started flaming his opponent before the fight was over. Like, there's many things that could have happened here that didn't quite happen. But the game continues as we're about to... Yeah, I'd say that we're now kind of starting to kind of crawl into the late game. It's a slow process. And now we're moonwalking out of it by warping in 5 more Archons. The Archon, people mistake the Archon for a late game unit. In PvT, the Archon is a mid game unit because Ghost is the hard counter. Once you have Ghost, the Archon is worthless. So right now this army consists of, what is that? 24 supply? 24 supply of nothing. These Archons are not, they don't exist. Like, you see them, they're an illusion. You might as well have hallucinated them. It literally doesn't matter. They should be capable of dealing 0 damage. Right now, no tricks is actually up in supply. As long as he has more than 5 ghosts. He has 5. He needs a 6th. Interesting fight. Maybe EMP? A couple of Vikings. He's building medevacs. Sees for... No, what? Why are we doing this? Just stand back, relax, build up your army. His army is garbage tier. He's all-inning you. This is not a late hit. This is an all-in. He hit a lot of EMPs, but not on the Archons. He just keeps hitting the big units. He's like, oh, Colossus. I should hit the EMP 5 times on them. They probably have a lot of shields. Nice target fire there on the refinery. Meanwhile, Zealots killing everything here. Oh, this is the Zealot run by he was complaining about. Okay, now Disruptors are on the way. And once Disruptors are out, the game actually becomes pretty hard once Disruptors are out. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter, because I think it's pretty much over. I don't quite understand how he's going to survive till the late game. Because in my mind, the Protoss just walks straight into the natural. And then wins the game. Oh. I guess there's no late game? He complained about something that didn't happen. What the hell is that? What? This is like complaining about the moon landing. It's fake, bro. What? This was no late game. How can you lose to Archon Colossus? Losing to Archon Colossus in the late game is... This is like blowing up your own house and then complaining that it's cold. It's like, oh, no walls. It's like, yeah, no crap. You blew it up, you clown. Like, Ghost Viking, Marauder, like, destroys Archon Colossus. Like, it's not close. And this isn't something that Terran players will deny. If there's a late game army that doesn't have Disruptors or a high Immortal count, Viking, Ghost, Marauder, Medevac just eats it alive. Like, just freaking owns it so hard. Like, ask any Terran player that has a brain above 5k MMR, and they're gonna tell you this. Terrans complain about Disruptors. Terrans complain about Storm. Terrans complain about Carriers. Terrans complain about Tempest. They never complain about Colossus, Archon, Zealot, because they can fight that army. This is not some imbalanced army. This army is balls. This is a mid-game all-in that you somehow managed to die to, despite already having 1 foot into the late game, because your ghost control is god-awful. My dear friend, Protoss players, you know, we might be lacking something up here sometimes. A little bit. But you might not have a brain after watching this game and how you control your ghost. You, my friend, you suck. And that's just the way it is. All right. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Like, subscribe, yeah, that's it. Ciao, ciao.